Welcome back, guys. We will discuss the progesterone. Progesterone, the basic structure. Progesterone is a naturally occurring pregnane steroid. So it is pregnane 4-ene 320 dione. About the steroid hormone nomenclature, the basic structure comprises per hydrocyclopentane phenanthrene molecule. There are the three main groups according to the number of carbon atoms are if the nucleus contains 21 carbon atoms, then progestins and corticoids. The 19 carbon atom series are androgens with androstane nucleus. The 18 carbon atoms are estrogens, the estrane nucleus. Progesterone biosynthesis. Progesterone is a pregnancy hormone. Progest means to bear. The major source in non pregnant state is corpus luteum. Other sources are adrenals. Progesterone circulation in blood. About 80% of progesterone is bound to albumin, while 18% is bound to transcortin, 1% is bound to sex hormone binding globulin, and 2% progesterone is free. The basic building block in steroidogenesis is cholesterol. Progesterone is an intermediate in androgen synthesis. The major products derived from progesterone metabolism are 17-hydroxyprogesterone, androstenedione, and testosterone. Total progesterone production from ovaries is 30 milligram, adrenals 1 milligram. In pre-ovulatory phase, less than 1 milligram per day is released, while in luteal phase, 20 to 30 milligram per day is released. The metabolic fate of progesterone, either it is excreted in urine as pregnane diol or triol. Coming on to the progesterone receptor, progesterone is a member of steroid receptor superfamily of nuclear receptors, and there are three major forms of the progesterone receptor: A, B, and C. Progesterone receptor B has a unique upstream segment known as B upstream segment BUS. Progesterone receptor has a positive regulator of effects of progesterone, while A antagonizes the effect of progesterone receptor B. In most cells, B is the positive regulator of progesterone response genes, while A inhibits the B activity. Pharmacology of progestogens. There is a difference between progestogen and progestin. Progestogen means any substance, natural or synthetic, that exerts progesterone like activity via activation of progesterone receptor. While progestin means only synthetic progesterones. Only synthetic progestogen is known as progestin. The main test to qualify a compound as a progestogen is its ability to induce secretory uterine epithelium following estrogen priming. So, whenever we are giving the estrogen, if any substance it induces secretory changes in the uterine epithelium, that means that compound is a progestogen. Now, the types of progesterone. First is the natural progesterone, derivatives of progesterone, esters of 17-hydroxyprogesterone, alkyl derivatives of testosterone, and alkyl derivatives of 19-nor testosterone. So the natural progesterone, that is the pregnane dione, and it then further is the derivatives of progesterone like dydrogesterone, the megestrol acetate, both are available in the oral preparations. Esters of 17-hydroxyprogesterone, that is the prolutin depot, which is only and only available as intramuscular form in the dose of 250 or 500 milligram. Then there is the medroxyprogesterone acetate, which is available both as the depot preparation of 150 milligram as well as the oral progesterone. Alkyl derivatives of testosterone is the ethisterone as well as danazol, both of which are available in the oral form. The alkyl derivatives of 19-nor testosterone. These are the main progesterone which you come across during your clinical practice. The first one is the norethisterone, and which comes by the name of Primolute N. And then is the registrone, a very commonly used medication. It consists of norethisterone acetate. Norethisterone acetate is double time potent than norethisterone. Then norgestrel, which is seen in the overall G and overall L. Levonorgestrel, the Dynogest, and desogestrel and the gestrinone. These most of the progesterones are used in the oral contraceptive pills. There is another way to classify the progesterones, the synthetic progesterone, which are structurally related to progesterone and structurally related to testosterone. Those who are related to progesterone can further be divided into pregnenes and norpregnenes. Pregnenes means when the methyl group is there at carbon 10, while non-pregnane means there is no methyl group at carbon 10. Pregnenes can further be divided into acetylated and non-acetylated. Acetylated means acetyl group at carbon 18, carbon 17, while non-acetylated means those like dihydrogesterone and medrogesterone. Then the acetylated group means medroxyprogesterone, the megestrol, and the cyproterone acetate. Coming on to the non-pregnanes means where the methyl group is absent at carbon 10. They are further similarly divided into acetylated and non-acetylated. The acetylated are nomigestrol and the non-acetylated are the demigestrone, the progesterone, which are not very commonly used in the clinical practice. Now, coming on to those which are structurally related to testosterone. They can be divided into athenylated and norathenylated. The norathenylated are dinogest and drospirenone, while the athenylated are divided into the estranes and the gonines. The estranes are norethindrone, the norethindrone acetate, the tibolone, and the gonines with ethinyl group at carbon 13 are levonorgestrel, desogestrel, norgestimate, and gestodine. So this was another way of classification of progesterone. Another way to classify the progesterone is according to the generations. Progestins are classified into 4 generations based on steroid from which they are derived, which then determines their molecular structure. So there can be 19 non-testosterone derivatives with missing 19 carbon, while non-19 non-testosterone derivatives without missing 19 carbon. So when the 19 carbon is missing, it can be further divided into estranes and gonines. The estrane ones are norethindrone, the norethindrone acetate. They are the first generation progestins, while gonines like levonorgestrel and norgestrel, they are second generation. Gestodine, desogestrel, and norgestimate are third generation, while drospirenone, that is the fourth generation progesterone. The non-19 non-testosterone derivatives, that is without missing 19 carbon, are 17-hydroxyprogesterone, that is the medroxyprogesterone. So there is a clinical importance of dividing the progesterone into these generations. The newer generation ones are associated with less metabolic side effects, like less changes on the lipid profile. So they can be taken on the longer terms without having any effect on the lipid profile. While the one problem associated with long term intake of the newer progestins is they are more likely to be associated with venous thromboembolism. The table shows the progesterone activity and androgen activity of different types of progesterones. We can see the fourth generation one, that is the drospirenone. It has the almost zero androgenic activity. So the newer the generation is, the androgenic activity will be low in the progesterone. That leads to improved lipid profile and metabolic profile of the progesterone. While the earlier generations, the first and second generation progesterones, they have more androgenic activity, thus having its implication on the metabolic profile of the and as well as on the lipid profile. So thank you guys. I hope this was a helpful presentation on the types of progesterone and the different generations and their clinical implications.